Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey. Na, 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 na. Talk with Ruby. We're bringing you together. Talks with Ruby. We're uplifting each other. Talks with Ruby. Bringing your discussions alive.
Social media. You hear that? Oh, God. What is the weirdest DM you've ever received from somebody?
I think because when I think about like my life before cancer, because everything's so different, I don't think about life before cancer so much. So then thinking like during and post cancer, I've had like men message and say they'd love to have the experience of your boobs off, and they'd love to have the experience of boop boop and only.
Really?
So, yeah, it's like fetish. I can't even pronounce it properly. Like like a fetish over it. Yeah, like over the whole breast cancer concept and what have you lost, what have you got.
What is the worst meal you've ever cooked for somebody?
Unless somebody says it out loud, I don't think there is. I've got my granny hand, so I don't think there's ever been the worst meal I've ever cooked for anybody. I think for me, when it comes to like not cooking well, if I'm in a mood, I'll shut down the kitchen and that's it. Kitchen closed, everything finished. But I don't think to date, unless someone can tell me, I don't think to date I've demolished anything too bad in the kitchen. Like I am good.
And
action.
To the talk, take one.
Guys, welcome to episode 2 of Talks with Ruby. And this is my guest, Tamara. We are talking about
boobies.
So tune in to talk about everything breast cancer awareness, okay? Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Talks with Ruby. I am your host, Soph. And first of all, I wanted to thank you for everybody who may have tuned into the last episode with my guest, Akila Brown. Very beautiful episode, very successful, and everybody has been giving me some wonderful feedback. So thank you. Can I just remind you as well to like, subscribe, and share my content with anybody who you think may enjoy it. All right, but yes, back for another episode. Got a good one in store for you. I am not an expert on this topic, to say the least. I am not, so I have invited somebody to talk on it with me. Today we're going to be talking about breast cancer awareness. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to introduce my guest.
Hi.
Okay, so this is my guest. This is Tamara. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are, what you do?
Right, I'm Tamara. I'm 40 years old. I'm a breast cancer survivor, so I've been going around ambassadoring in my community and just spreading awareness as a Black Women Rising ambassador. I'm also a single mum of 2 girls, and I also work full time. So it's a bit about me.
Thank you so much for joining me. Honestly, like I've been waiting to speak about this. We've been talking about this for a minute.
For a while.
A very, very long time. And we're finally here.
Long time.
Guys. I mean, it's taken a while, but we got there in the end. But no, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Everything that you've just said, literally single mum, you know, you've had your own journey with breast cancer. You work full time. There's so much that you just said just in that 1 minute. I was just thinking, oh my goodness, like you've been through it, but we're here to talk about it today. And this is not going to be all doom and gloom, guys. It's not, because we are going to be giving you, you know, some facts and figures as well. And, you know, setting some myths straight as well. I think that's really important.
Definitely.
Okay. But yeah. Can we just highlight the fact that we just look amazing today, please?
Pink on pink. Pink on pink. Pink feet.
This is why we're wearing pink, because that is the official theme colour, isn't it, of breast cancer awareness. So, yeah.
And also, as much as I think it's a beautiful thing, we always forget that breast cancer happens for men too. So sometimes we need to also reevaluate the pink, I think, as well, because then you have to think about it in the sense that if a man finds anything when he wants to think about going forward, even past the GP to hospital services, he's going to be going to a breast clinic. There's going to be females, boobs, this, not much for them. So the pink is lovely, and obviously it represents us, represents women, but I do think sometimes we maybe need to neutralize the colour, but that's just my personal opinion on it. Yeah.
And I'd not thought about it like that prior to us having this conversation, but you're right.
I never thought about it either. I think for me it was going through breast cancer and then learning that men get breast cancer too. Like, that has been a whole new thing for me, and exploring that in terms of wanting to learn about it. So it's not, I don't think it's anything that any of us would think about, because the rates of that are lower, but it does happen. So
yeah, it does. It's something to think about, guys. No, I mean, I do know there's quite a few men that do wear pink. They do.
And they look good in it too.
And they look good in it too. They do. But they wear it by choice, not necessarily to represent breast cancer awareness or what have you. They wear it by choice. Like, my son looks amazing in pink, and my partner looks amazing in pink. And they will wear pink proudly without even thinking about anything relating to this topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a nice colour for both male and female, I think.
Definitely.
But if you could choose, what colour do you think the men should wear to represent?
I don't think it should be a case of anybody wearing something to represent in terms of gender. I think we should just maybe just have one neutral colour.
One neutral, yeah.
For all of us.
For everybody.
Yeah. Just something that everybody's happy
comfortable
with. I couldn't tell you what the colour is, but do you know what I mean? Like, but just something more neutral, so that when it does come down to it, if anybody ever had to go into these departments that we're trying to fight so hard for them to not go into, then at least they'll feel a bit more comfortable. I wouldn't want a man to shy away because he just thinks, oh my God, this is the girl bit and I can't do this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because that puts his life at risk too. So
yeah, no, you're right. You're totally right. Goodness me, guys, if you've got any ideas, you know what to do, drop it in the comments. Have a think. You know, what colour do you think? Or if you've got any suggestions. Okay, so before we get into the main topic, I wanted to do a little icebreaker with you, if that's okay. And I did warn her before, guys, I did. Do a little icebreaker. I've just got a couple of questions, literally, just so that our viewers can get to know you a little bit. And yeah, just because I'm nosy.
I've heard. Go on, Triff.
Okay, so it's an icebreaker with a couple of questions. It could potentially turn into story time. So yeah, if you want to tell a little story behind it, then that's cool. Right. So first one, what is the worst meal you've ever cooked for somebody?
Unless somebody says it out loud, I don't think there is. I've got my granny hand. So I don't think there's ever been the worst meal I've ever cooked for anybody. I think for me, when it comes to like not cooking well, if I'm in a mood, I'll shut down the kitchen and that's it. Kitchen closed, everything finished. But I don't think to date, unless someone can tell me, I don't think to date I've demolished anything too bad in the kitchen. Like I am good.
You've got a good time.
And I'm not saying that because I'm me. I'm good. I'm good.
So what's your signature dish then?
Obviously, like Jamaican background, my Caribbean dishes, but then like we explore like different things. Like I like Greek food, I like Mexican food and things like that. So I'm always trying new things. A lot of Italian food we try and things like that in the house. So we're always exploring. Do you know what I mean? And obviously we go away, pick up recipes, bring them back, try and replicate them. So.
No, that's good.
No, I love cooking, and I think that's one of the things that kind of got me through what I got through as well. Like just being able to be well enough to still do my meals. I promised myself I wouldn't get to a stage where someone's going to be coming in to cook for me. There was 1 and 2 occasions, but I managed to maintain house in that respect. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. I think cooking for me is so therapeutic.
Mhm.
I don't know what it is, whether it's a sensory thing, because, you know, you can smell the food cooking. It brings you to a place of comfort.
Yeah.
For me, especially when it's Caribbean
Yeah.
food, because you know, if I'm cooking my rice,
And
I
I'm
love the
a
smell of.
feeder, and I'm a feeder.
Me
So it's the look
too.
of everyone's faces, or when everyone says that it tastes really good. That like I love that. Honestly, I love that.
I'm that. Oh my gosh, how is it tasting?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
I don't
Or-
even get a chance to finish eating it. I just like, is it good? What do you think? What do you think? No, but I am.
I'm like
I
one of
like
them
that. And I
annoying
think for me,
waiters.
like when I wasn't well, and I think like with anybody, it doesn't matter what kind of illness you go through. If you do things like that, or if you are a person or a parent that cooks every day or most times a week, when you're not feeling yourself, it is like a control thing. Like your goal is to be able to get back in the kitchen. It's like when you're a mum and you're flued up, you know you can't go over the food and that, but then you don't like what the kids are eating because everyone's left to their own devices. So it's a control thing as well.
It can be, can't it?
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, when we were growing up, we had no control
and
over
no
what
say
we
of
wanted
on
to
the
eat.
menu.
No say of anything. Whatever your parents cooked, that is what was for dinner that night.
No point asking what's
So-
for dinner. You just get delivered
Exactly.
what you was.
And if you didn't like it, you know where the toaster is, yeah? Make yourself some toast or make yourself some cereal. It was
And that's it.
that was just it. There was
They have a lot
there
of
was not going to
options
be
now.
yeah, too many.
Yeah, because
Because-
some mums are cooking like one meal for this one meal for that one, because someone's got allergies or someone don't like this. And
I've been that mum, and not because of allergies, but because of preferences.
Yeah.
You know, so my daughter's, I don't know where this came from, but she's all of a sudden, I don't like rice and peas. So she's picking out peas, and I'm like, oh my gosh, so I'll just do white rice.
just to keep the peace.
Just to keep the peace, and rice and peas for everybody else. So yeah, I can be that
I
mum.
do that because like obviously my eldest, she's allergic to fish and stuff. So there's certain things that I can't do and certain things, and I've got no allergies, so then there's certain things I can have and I can't have as well.
Okay,
So
yeah.
you do find that you fall into the traps of doing it, but I do try and keep everything generic. But
Yeah, I hear that.
I cook well, but when the kitchen closed, it's closed.
It's closed.
It's closed.
Okay. And that's
And
when you're
that's
fed
the-
up or you're vexed with somebody or...
It can be two ways, because then also I do angry cooking.
Okay, yeah,
So then
me
I
too.
batch out like big meals for no reason because I'm in my feelings. So it can can go either. Basically, I just craving.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm craving too. It's all good. It's all good, you know. But yeah, I'm just a big foodie, and like you, when I travel, I get that sense of I need to go back home and try this out
I
now
need to make
and
it.
see if I can do it. I remember, where did I go? I think it was the first or second time we went to Turkey. I tried these like pancake things, and it took me ages to get them just how they cooked them. But there was still something missing. I don't know whether it was because of the utensils I
Yeah.
was using. But I was like, no, man, them pancakes are just too nice.
You need to do
And they
it.
had like spinach inside, and I was just like, no,
Oh,
these are
nice.
beautiful. But yeah, I'm exactly like that. And traveling does make you explore more. When
And it
comes to
expands
food.
your horizons
It
with
does,
foods.
with
You
your
know what I
palate.
mean? Like I love our foods. Do you know what I mean? I'm brought up on it, but also there's just some amazing dishes out there and things like that. And I'm not like I love like puddings and stuff, but I'm not good at baking. I'm not a cake person. I'm a food person.
Savoury. Me too.
Yeah. So I like to go and try like different puddings and
Yeah.
different things and that within my limits, because everything's got nuts in there, so I can't have things.
Oh, I hear that. Oh, poor thing. Right then, next question. Okay. So we know you're a foodie.
Mhm.
Social media.
Mm.
You hear that? Oh, gosh. What is the weirdest DM you've ever received from somebody? Male or female, anybody.
Well,
It's just me being
obviously,
nosy
like,
again.
I get like I think because when I think about like my life before cancer, because everything's so different, I don't think about life before cancer so much. So then thinking like during and post cancer, I've had like men message and say they'd love to have the experience of your boobs off, and they'd love to have the experience of boop boop and only.
Really?
Yeah, it's like fetish. I can't even pronounce it properly. Like like a fetish over
Yeah.
it. like over the whole breast cancer concept and what have you lost, what have you got, and then obviously weird things. I think now going into this space, there's a lot more strange messages.
Yeah.
I don't really look into them unless it's someone like messaging me or wanting to ask something or something like. I overlook them, but there's been like even few like strange messages from females. Like I've had messages, do you feel like less of a woman and things like that. So I think I don't know whether it's weird to be rude or weird because they're curious. Do you know what I mean? But I probably wouldn't respond to things like that anyway. So yeah, but I think we live in that world now. I think it doesn't matter who you are. From when you have an online presence, you're just privy to the weird stuff, isn't it?
Of
Like
course.
yeah.
Of course. So how have you handled that then with the fetish messages and things? How did you handle
I just
that?
give them I give them to the grace of God, where you should give them to. But I think you just ignore it. Yeah, you just ignore it, and then I think luckily because I'm part of a wider community in terms of the things that I'm doing. You know, like our the founder of our charity, like you know, she's been trolled and things like that. So I think we're kind of aware as well, like before we started doing, especially for the ones that want to do the ambassador work, I think we've been made aware beforehand that you know, it's like with anything, isn't it? Like you're open, you put yourself open and you put yourself out there, then you're going to be open and out there to anything. So it's just a case of knowing to safeguard yourself, make sure you talk to the right people, get the right advice, and also know to cut your time on social media. Like at the moment now, I utilize it for what I utilize it for, which is highlighting my progress and highlighting the awareness. I don't use my social media the way that I did 2 years ago. It's so different now, and now it's a tool and like a business tool. So and that's what I utilize it for. And I think like with all of us, whatever happens behind closed doors isn't what I show you up front anyway. So don't, you know, only when you see the progress, the awareness, the meetings, the good things that we're doing, all that stuff is real, but you don't know me, so it doesn't matter what you message me and say, because the circle is small and tight and everybody knows each other within that. Like it's just the rest of the world. But obviously you're still trying to spread awareness, you're still trying to, you know, put yourself out there for our community. Do you know what I mean? And it's quite sad sometimes when it is also then members of your own community that are messaging you with below the belt things. It's quite sad because you're trying to do things for them. So,
and they can let themselves down, those people, can't they? And it just makes you shake your head and you think, why? You know, it can be quite upsetting. And embarrassing as well. But you're dealing with it in the right way. I don't think I'd know how to respond. So I might do what you do and ignore.
I think you get ignored. Obviously behind closed doors, it's hurtful. Like you'll get upset, but then you have a safe space to get upset. You have people to be upset with. Do you know what I mean? Then
gone through
do you know what I mean?
things.
Yeah, and it's not like, you know, like some people will want to do like a live or crying and everyone's different, but I'm not like that. Do you know what I mean? Like if I'm hurting, then I hurt quietly kind of thing, and I keep that to not online. And I wouldn't then also then go out and rage and do like a post and say, well, people are doing this and that. I wouldn't, because then that's what they also want. They do things for reactions as well. So sometimes you don't give them what they're hungry for, isn't it?
That's true. No, thank you for that. I think I wasn't expecting you to give that answer, but I'm kind of glad you did, because that's made me look at things a little bit differently as well. But no, I think you handled it well, and it's just amazing that you are part of different organisations that you can just go to for that comfort and advice when you need it, because it's necessary. It really is. We need to support each other, guys. We need to support each other.
And especially when anybody that does any kind of ambassador work, like I read a publication the other day about ambassador fatigue. Like it's a thing. And especially if you're doing it for your community, especially for us in the ethnic community, there's only a handful of people that are championing for our community. So it's exhausting.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you don't want to then be abused because the people that are abusing you, they're not coming out with us to come and you're not coming to help. So if you're not helping, then why are you hindering?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because then if you're going to be chipping away at people emotionally while they're trying to do the work, then they're less likely to go and do the work. And then where does that leave us? So, yeah, it's like food for thought for people, to be honest.
It is. Take notes, guys. Honestly, I'm feeling like this is going to be an interesting episode. I feel like you're already dropping some gems for everybody and letting people know how it really is. No, you are, because I'm learning things as I'm going along, speaking to you, and we ain't even started the episode properly.
Literally just winging life like everybody else.
No, but you're smashing it. You are smashing it.
Thank you.
But third and final question, lighten the mood a little bit. Okay, can you name a song that you had absolutely no business listening to as a youngster?
Anything to do with Dipset. Anything to do with Jim Jones, Dipset. You know the people are. I'm a hip hop baby, so anything down that way inclined, and I come from a church house, so anything that's just extreme. So hip hop, anything hip hop. Okay,
give me a tune, and we'll give it some airtime.
Oh, my favourite tune at the moment, and I keep listening to it, is Diplomats. I'm Ready. Like that's one of my go-to
banger.
One of my go-to bangers.
Yeah, we've got to give it some airtime. There's quite a few. I mean, we're the same age group, so we would have grown up on the same music.
Little Kim.
And oh my
God.
Everything
Little Kim and her mouth. Oh my God. Honestly, love it. Love it. Foxy Brown.
Oh, should we do a Little Kim, actually?
Yeah.
Let's do a Little Kim. Give me a track.
Yeah, actually, because it's girly time, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And another one, and another one, and another one.
You know what this beat though? Do you remember the other song to it? I'm not feeling you. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, I'm leaving anyway. Because that's why when I hear this beat, that's what I think of that song. Because that video used to crack me up, the music video for that song. Oh, I love this.
Yeah, this is a bit naughty, this one.
Oh, hip hop. Bring back proper hip hop.
This queen bee, but you can't be. That's why you're mad.
Proper hip hop in the 16 bar.
I know. The 90s, they were a good time. They were an absolutely amazing time for hip hop. And this is why I think the women of the who were born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, are hip hop babes. Yeah. We are at heart because I feel like we had the best era.
Averets, jackets, basketball. Listen, it was great. It was great.
What a time to be alive.
A time was had.
It was. And you know what? The kids these days will never ever know. You'll never know.
No, they only know that dungo.
Oh gosh, this was my track that I should not have been listening to as a youngster. Let me see if I can find it.
You don't know what you see. You just think of it like this. I used to put on my nan's nighties and that when I was younger because they'd be long like wedding dresses and I'd dress up and I'd have the brush and
I used to do the brush and my mum's stilettos. My mum's stilettos.
And other people music. Yeah. Other people lipstick. Honestly,
it was really bad. But yeah, I was young when that song came out. Now, I was definitely primary school. I'm going to just do a fact check and see when that tune came out. So, Calling Me Bad.
Wasn't it like 87, 88?
I don't know. I was definitely in primary school. That's all I remember. Sung by Calling Me Bad, 1991.
I was in year one.
Now, I turned 9 in 1991.
I was 6.
You were 6. Yeah, I turned 9 because I remember 1991 was the first year I went to Jamaica and had my 9th birthday out there. That's how I remember. But Yeah, I should not have been listening to that tune then at all.
I love being young.
Oh gosh, right then. So, icebreaker done, guys. You know a little bit about my guest for today. So we're going to talk about breast cancer awareness. Now, obviously, we're in pink. We spoke a little bit about, the colour theme and everything. We've got pink drinks. We got everything pink.
Pinky.
So when we just cheers, actually.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We'll just have a little cheers.
Chin chin. We got our booby here.
So what I wanted to do was chop it up about some myths. Now, there's a lot of things that people will talk about, don't really know whether they're true or not. There's a lot of myths going around. I know there's been a lot that I personally have heard over the years. And I've written some down because I thought to myself,
go for it.
what I'd like to do is clear up these myths. Let's eliminate them. And now we've got like a bit of an expert in the house. We can eliminate the myths and get the facts. Yeah?
And now it's time for Ruby's Gem. Good riddance to decisions that don't support self-care, self-value, and self-worth. This was a quote by Oprah Winfrey. If you're enjoying the content so far, please like, comment, and subscribe.
So,
Go for it.
my first myth that I'd always thought, I wasn't sure whether it was true or not.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people, you can laugh at me if you wish, but I'm sure you've probably heard some of these things going around.
There's nothing that is stupid because literally you hear it all.
Now, I know somebody who does not use deodorant simply because of the fact that they think that, there's chemicals in that can start breast cancer off as they're using them. So deodorants and antiperspirants can cause cancer. True or false?
Very much false. There's not enough
Okay.
research. Obviously, like with anybody, if you want to use natural products, go for it. But even like for me, I use natural products now because I've had my lymph nodes removed, and it's a personal thing.
Yeah.
But there is no studies out there. There is not enough research that shows, because you'd have to get every deodorant off the market, and obviously people are thinking about metals and things like that. And but then everybody goes Costco and buys the bottled water with the plastics in there. You're drinking microplastics. Don't worry about it. They're like, we are at that point now. We are at that point now.
There's nothing that you can avoid.
Sense. Yeah, but there isn't enough research. So in terms of facts, there isn't enough to say yes or no. There's not enough there. So the answer at the present is no. So nobody wouldn't tell anybody, don't use deodorant, don't use this, don't do that. And if that's the case, there'd be more things to do to campaign to get those things off the market. If it did do that, or make those companies accountable for the results. But there's not been a study to say that people that use Shore deodorant or Mitchum are more times likely to get breast cancer. That's not the case.
So which one is the most natural one to use then, would you say? Because you say that you use
I go through phases, because at the moment I'm using roll-ons that's in the house, and I've had breast cancer. So the natural ones is I like the wild ones, the little square ones, the natural deodorants, and then you can go in places like the Lush shops and things like that where they have natural products. Some people look for recipes, and some people make their own, because you can use like lavender. You can get talcum powder deodorants as well, where you don't actually. You have to remember, some people have skin irritations, eczema, and things like that. Some people just don't like that feeling under there. So it is a personal choice, but doing that doesn't mean that you're less likely to get cancer. Like there's no link. There's no link. Do you know?
Okay. Yeah. No, that's good to know. I hope you've got your notepads, guys.
There's a lot of like demystifying a lot of the myths, isn't it? There's so many.
Yeah, there is, because, you hear things as you're growing up. And when it's an adult saying things, you think, oh, it's an adult saying it, so it must be true.
Yeah.
But as you grow up into an adult yourself, you start doing your own research, like reading books, or
You start questioning
you start
things, and
questioning,
so as you should. As you should,
and you do your own research, and you find out, well, actually, no, that's not true.
No, there isn't enough clinical research. Do you know
Research.
what I mean? There isn't enough clinical research to say that. So I'd say no.
Okay,
That's
so it's
definitely
not
false.
scientifically proven, guys. So go out there and still buy your things, and you can still remain fresh, and it's
You
absolutely
don't have
fine.
to stink out here. You don't have to stink. Buy the deodorant.
Lovely. I'm glad that one's cleared up. Okay, so another one that I've always been confused about is having implants. Now, I used to want implants when I was younger. I used to think, by the time I'm 30, 35, my boobies are going to be down here, touching my knees, and I'm actually going to need a little lift or a little bit of an implant
Uplift,
or
yeah.
something. Yeah, and that's what I always wanted. And I remember being like 18, 19, thinking, oh, these aren't going to last. Like, so I'm going to start saving for my
boobs done.
implants. Yeah, so that by the time I've had all my children, I'll have the money to get it done. And when you're young, you think 30, 35 is old, isn't it? So you end up just like reaching that age and thinking, well, actually, no, I'm
Don't
quite
need them.
pert still,
Pert.
and I'm 43 now, and I'm still kind of happy with my boobs. And I haven't had anything done, by the way. I didn't go down that route in the end. But yeah, I remember thinking, now I'm going to need it doing. But then I remember telling certain people, this is what I want to do when I'm older. Oh, no, you can't do that. You don't want to get any surgery unless you really have to or whatever, because, it mashes up black people. It doesn't, it doesn't necessarily work for us. And, you can get breast cancer and things if you start messing with them, and, it can trigger things.
I've got implants because I've had breast cancer.
Well, this is the thing, but you don't know, do you?
Yeah.
You hear different people say different
Honestly.
things, and it puts ideas into your head, and it puts you off doing stuff. And I mean, I'm glad I didn't do it now, because I feel like if I need to do anything surgery wise, then it'll be because it's medical.
Women with implants have to check their boobs as well. I think they still check their boobs the same way, because even like for me now, I still check my boobs, even though I don't have no breast tissue. So the way that my implants, and that for women, when they get their implants done, you either have them over muscle or under muscle.
Okay.
So it depends on the type that you have as well. So mine are over muscle, I believe.
Okay.
So having implants wouldn't heighten your risk of breast cancer. And if that's the case, why is it offered to us then when we do get breast cancer? Do you know what I mean? So I had like direct to implant surgery. So I went to sleep with mine, woke up with new ones, and I don't have no nipples now. So it's strange, but at least I've still got something. Some women can't have anything to replace them. But I think from the experience, like how you said, when I was younger, I used to think, oh, I want implants when I get big and that. And from having the experience now, not because I've had to do it and it's not been my choice, I would never do it for vanity, because I didn't, I couldn't, because it hurts. Do you know what I mean? And the experience, like everybody's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
But my experience, I just think, no, I'm not going to put my body through that unless I need to. So the advice that you did have about putting your body through that unnecessarily, that's perfect advice to give, because if you're only doing it just because of how you emotionally feel about something, then maybe it might be better to go work on that, because you could have them done and still feel the same way, which is what a lot of women still feel when they have cosmetic surgeries, isn't it? They still feel not themselves. They still feel missing something, even though they've paid all that money and they've gone through all of that. So then maybe it's a bit more up here than in your emotions, than it being a physical thing. I just don't advise any kind of, unless you physically need, it's a lot to put your body through just for a photo.
And this is it. This is why as I got older and and I've grown up, and I've realised that, actually, no, there's nothing wrong with your boobs. You've reached this age and you're actually fine. So don't worry
And I think
about
it's like
it.
how we see ourselves, and obviously the groups that we're around growing up, and how people have seen us, maybe like relationships, past relationships, in terms of how people see you, is kind of brushes off on how you see yourself, isn't it? And I think everybody just has to get to this stage where like they can look at themselves in the mirror with nothing on and just be happy with.
Completely content.
Not necessarily content though, because I think you're always going to find things you don't like. You know what I mean? Like people who look at me and be like, oh, I like this and that. But then there's something on you that I'd want. Do you know what I mean? And so we're never going to get what we want. So it's like just finding a sense of peace. Like for me now, I've got scars, battle scars, and you know what I mean? That's what I call them. So I have to kind of come to terms with being able to look at myself. So I think then for you to put yourself through that and you've had nothing going on, it's a lot. But then it's your personal choice as well, your personal finances.
Yeah.
Not my personal preference. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but people do it though. And I mean, look at the whole BBL movement. You know, that is something over the last few years that has just risen. And I always look at that now as a woman in my 40s now. I'm looking at that thinking, how
the
ridiculous.
Mommy makeovers
Yeah,
and stuff.
how ridiculous.
One of someone had told me the other day that now there's like a trend of people getting the
taken
removed.
out. Yeah. I was just about to say, it's, you know, I look at it and I
I
always
don't follow
thought,
things like that, yeah.
I always thought, why are you doing this to yourself? Because you're going to regret it. And now look, people are getting them removed. Even celebrities are getting them removed now. Because there
and for
are...
me, it worries because obviously, like, we're girl mums. So you have to think about, you know, the girls are out there, they're bearing witness to, like, people modifying themselves, saying they're not happy, changing back. And then it's confusing for the children, do you know what I mean, as well. So I think it's the world we live in, but it's just, I think it's so scary as well, because nobody wants to grow old gracefully anymore. Like, I love my nan's generation and, you know, like her white hair and just looking at and holding her face and all of that. And I just think, like, I know that obviously you fear getting older, but we're not fearing getting older for the practical reasons. Like, no one's not thinking about, oh, do I need to convert my house into a bungalow in case my foot don't work, and things like, you know, practical things about getting older, sorting out your will, your finances, your children.
Yeah.
Everybody's worrying about, like, how they're going to look in their coffin, and I just think we wasn't designed to be like that.
No.
Don't think we were, but it's just my thought. My thoughts are so different now. It's just so different to how I used to think before, but I think probably because of the experience.
It's
like
your experience.
Yeah,
put you
like
in
I
that
think
mindset.
really differently, and sometimes it seems a bit warped, but I think I see the world so differently now, because I think we all forget that. Same like the day we're born is the day we could die. We all have an hourglass on our head. It's just that people that have had things like cancer, illnesses, sickle cell, it's just that the universe, God or whoever, has made it clear that they've just made it known that we have that hourglass. All of you guys have forgotten that you've got your hourglass over your head. It's just that I've been through something that reminds me that my hourglass is there. So I need to be careful what I do with the sand. And I think everybody, and that's the analogy that I see of how I view like life now, and how we deal with things and how we interpret things and what we should entertain and what we shouldn't.
No, you're totally right, 100%. I think your experience has put you in that mindset. I think with people who haven't had a lot of life experience with things like terminal illnesses, or not necessarily just for themselves personally, but for people who have had people in their life like parents or grandparents or, you know, close friends or even children who have had serious illnesses, then it can make them think like that as well. You know, the hourglass thing.
I think yes and no, though, because one thing I learned, I always thought like that until I had cancer. And then until I sat in a group with women that have all had cancer. And it's very different. And one thing in the cancer space that I've learned is, yes, with friends and family, but
when it's yourself, it's different.
They haven't been through it, so it doesn't matter. You could be sitting next to someone until they close their eyes shut and they pass away. It's not your story; it's theirs. Do you know what I mean? Unfortunately, as bad as it sounds, you're bearing witness it impacts you in your life. Yes, I'll never deny that, but still not your story. Do you know what I mean? Like, even when I talk to people about like my kids, I've never had a mum that's had cancer. So how are my kids going to know how to navigate that if I've not had that experience?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And things like that. So it's just, even for my mum, I don't have a child that's had cancer. So I can't then tell my mum how to navigate her feelings on the matter as well. Like, people that, I think as a culture as well, and I'll get so much backlash for this, but as a culture, I do think we take other people's problems upon ourselves, and it's not your thing, it's not yours, it's not your appointments, it's mine. It's not, it's not chemo going in your veins, it's mine. You crying because you're watching that happen to me, that's your feelings on the matter, but it's not my story. Do you know what I mean? So I do think, even with friends and family, they do think differently because they witness that. But also, I don't think people see a lot of things in it, but do you see mass change? You don't really. So then it's not then effective, really, is it? Because not all things you see promote change.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Not all things you see promote change. I don't think it's really difficult to talk about, because you have to remember, it's so painful for someone to witness somebody not being well. But then also, I think, even from my journey, and when you think about family and things like that, and I just think, well, a lot of times it was very isolating, even though there was family around. And I think sometimes, even when you come from a family and a big family, you could be sitting in the room with everybody, but you feel very much alone, and everybody has an opinion, everybody has a quick fix, or then you get the ones where it's that painful to hear. It's just, don't worry about it, you'll be fine. But we can't do that. We have to talk about it, because what if I'm not fine? And no one didn't want to talk to me about planning ahead in case I weren't here. Nobody wanted to have
Nobody
those
wanted to address it because they didn't want to have to deal with their
So I
own
had to go
emotions.
and find community to have those conversations with, even though I knew I was going to be fine. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But nobody didn't want to, and I think culturally we do that.
We do.
Because we're scared, because we don't understand.
Yeah. So the lack of knowledge can then breed ignorance as well, isn't it? It can breed ignorance and fear. But we don't always want to say, we're scared, so we just dismiss, And I think that's what you're trying to say, isn't it? As a culture, that is what we do, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's so interesting to think, if there's, in our culture, and even if you're thinking about Black Asian, any ethnic culture, there's so much disparities in things like healthcare. I understand about access, but then when you look at who works in healthcare, why is there so many disparities when everyone's mum, auntie, somebody, a nurse, doctor, consultants, this, that, like within ethnic communities. But is it that the knowledge is not, are they that exhausted, the knowledge is not getting passed back home? I understand as a community it's hard to get access into things, but I just didn't realise that we just didn't know anything. Like, even if we couldn't get that access, the knowledge, like a bit of knowledge should be there. Like I'd found out, like, from like groups of African women and groups of Asian women, they're less likely to go and see the GP or talk about breast cancer, because they think culturally that the consultant or somebody would know the family or know everybody at the mosque or at the temples and stuff. So then they don't go and put themselves forward because they're worried about the chatter.
And
that's really scary to hear, because
church communities as well, because you said that you came from a church family. So did you ever feel like you were scared to say certain things in case it got back to members of your family, anybody in the church? Because I know a lot of people do go to like their pastors and things like that.
They all knew, and I went to church, obviously. I don't know, I suppose you know what you know, isn't it? So when you're going through that, I suppose your head texts and you think, oh, let me go in the tabernacle and see. So I remember I went to church, and obviously like some of the church family then knew what I was going through. And I remember, like, as soon as I walked in, someone come up to me and was like, in the mighty name of Jesus. I put their hat down.
Did they come with the oil too?
No, there was no just the power hat, just the prayer warrior hand. Do you know what I mean? Like, and
Breaks
you know
you
what
up.
you know what they're
Oh,
doing, they hold you
no.
up, and obviously you appreciate it, but at the time I was just standing there and I was thinking, it's like, I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah.
But you know, family members would be like, "Oh, I'm praying for you," but no one won't come and see you, but they're praying for you. Do you know what I
It's
mean?
that
And I think
realisation, though, isn't it? If they
it's
come and
fear.
see you, then it becomes real then. Do you know what I mean?
I know, but then it's real for me and my kids, so
Yeah. You still
like,
need
it
that
can't
support.
be any realer than
Yeah. You still need
and
the
what
support
and I think for me
regardless.
what was more insulting is that my cancer journey, it wasn't, you know, like how the black narrative of what they think cancer is, like down and out, can't move, can't do nothing. I was working full time, still was at work.
Bless you.
I still was doing stuff. I just had appointments on Wednesday. Chemo wasn't as bad. I know everybody has different experience with it, but my treatment journey, my treatment that I had and things like that, it didn't. There was times it did really tap me out, but it didn't tap me out that I couldn't have a normal life while going through treatment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think people assume, but if you can see me out like hiking and doing things like that, why would you not want to come and see us? And like, I'm not dying, am I? So
and you are very open with everything that you do in your life. Like, you will show on social media, like like you said, you're hiking. If you decide to go on a little trip, you'll show that. If you decide to, go to an event, and do your ambassador stuff, you'll show that as well. So why are people scared? Then
it's a hard conversation.
You know what I mean?
It's a hard, because it's still a lot of stigma, isn't it? And it's a hard conversation to have, you know. And I think people think, oh, do they have to feel sorry for you, or they don't want to ask questions. I think now, especially in the last month, with Breast Cancer Awareness Month, there's been a lot more like really good questions. Like people have been messaging and asking things, and there's like, I've spoken to a few women, 4 women in the last month that I've spoken to have had curiosities about things, and they've made appointments from talking to me.
Excellent.
So, you know, word is getting around.
That's
and you know what I mean, and things like that. And it could be just something and nothing, but the fact that they're realizing, oh, I need to push for this, I need to go and look about this, and they're starting to do that now. But I still think it's still it's just a taboo. It's just a hidden taboo, and we come from cultures where they say pray it away, eat this, drink this, do that, boil
and that was
this.
Another thing I had that on my list.
Boil
of
it, mix it, and blend it, queer.
I did. I know, man. But that is culturally, that is what we're like, though, isn't it?
Drink this.
Yeah. Drink this. It will make it better. Do this. Mix up this and take that.
No, the best one is drink these bitters, take off your shoes, go and walk around the garden barefoot 3 times and then see what happens or something. But it's like, do you know where I live? I live in Birmingham, so the soil's not good. So what kind of soil? Walk around the garden. But, and then the thing is, like,
rubbish.
and even when it comes to the herbal things, like everybody keeps forgetting about importing and exporting. It's not grown. Like, a lot of the things aren't grown here. Do you know how long it takes for them to travel overseas on the thingies? Do you know what I mean?
Like,
like,
by the time it
no
gets
one
to
does
you,
it. No one doesn't know about logistics either. And I think like there's so many things that we need to learn in our culture. Like, it's not fresh. It's fresh, but it's not that. You know, logistics, like income export, logistics. You know, like
we'll
think
spray
about
with this
where
so it keeps it fresh.
Yeah, pesticides and all them kinds of things. So it doesn't matter even if you're trying to do like the natural route and, you know, like the ITIL and the complete vegan journey. Like, you need to be like in Timbuktu where the soil is untouched.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fertile orange soil, untouched.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do it in your back garden in small leaf. It's not going to work. Do you know
No, of course not. Of course.
It'll work, but only to a degree.
But that was the other myth that I had. I was just thinking, I wanted to touch on that because it is important to recognise that all of these things that people tell you to do, they're not always right, are they? Like you said, the vegan journey. How many people do you know have turned vegan and said, oh, it's because it's healthier than eating meat. It's healthier than this. It's healthier than that.
No one gets more freaked out about cancer than a vegan. Like I've met vegans where they've been born into a vegan household, so they've never eaten meat in their whole life. So it's not even like they've decided that they want to go on this big vegan journey. They've got cancer. So then what's the answer then?
There you go.
What's the answer then?
There you go. So that was
So
another
then
myth
it's
that I
about
really wanted to
learning.
clear up.
Yeah.
Because I just think it frustrates me when because I met a vegan a few years back, and I remember thinking, like, they were always like saying little subliminal things about me eating meat and stuff. And when you just think, and this was an ex-meat eater, and and you just think, well, you could get sick tomorrow just like I could.
Veganism's
It's
beyond
really
eating
annoying.
meat though, because even then it's about what you wear. Like, are you wearing leather shoes? Because if you're wearing leather shoes and you're
Thank
telling me
you.
you're a vegan, you've literally just contradicted yourself, because that doesn't make any to be vegan. It's a lifestyle. It's not just
Yes.
I'm eating veg now, like and being products. It's not. It's beyond that.
is.
It's a lifestyle, isn't it? And it is good and it's healthy. And obviously, like with anything, if you're healthy, you're less likely to have things. But at the same time, when I got cancer, I was at the peak of my performance. Like most people who know me know that I cook all the time. I don't really eat out, and we don't really eat fast food. I'm relatively healthy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was active, going to the gym, and I still got cancer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can't, you know what I mean? You can't really say that doing one thing, and then also, how do you explain to the people that then did that one thing and then they still have something bad darken their door? Like, it's then a bit of and then this sets them on a bad journey with their recovery, because then also you have to remember it's all about having trust in your body as well. So if you don't trust your body, like for me, I trust and I don't trust my body. Obviously, I don't trust my body because I think, oh my God, I got cancer. But then also I trust my body because it's like, oh my God, you identified that we had cancer. Like, thank you for that. So it's like I have a bittersweet relationship with my body at the moment. So I think if you trust your body, things will work for you. Do you know what I mean? So I'm trying to trust my body so that I don't reject my implants at the moment. That's what because you can reject them even up to like 4 years after having them. I did also think it's like a mindset thing. I think I need to have a relationship with them. Do you know what I mean?
That's interesting.
Explain. It's all like psychological, isn't it?
So psychologically, getting used to them, knowing that they are a part of you now. Is that where you're coming from?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you
so much, guys, for joining us once again. And getting those comments, please. Like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. Till next time.